Such a good day. Hello guys! Choosing the right camera lens elevates your event photography work and increases the impact of your photos. In this video, I will share the best 4 types of camera lenses for event photography. Hi, my name is Chino of Chino Vantage Photography. I'm an event photographer based in London. And in this channel, I aim to share with you my knowledge and experience of being a professional event photographer to help you in your own journey in event photography. Let's jump right in. When it comes to lenses, I will mention the brand does not really matter. What matters is the focal length and how and when you use it. So you can choose just whatever matches your current camera system and falls within your budget. I shoot with a Sony a7 IV as my main camera. I have a backup Fujifilm X-T3. Okay, number 1 on my list is the wide lenses. Wide lenses give you a wide field of view. Very obvious, right? So which allows you to capture more elements in a scene. My most used wide focal lenses are the 18 or 24 millimeters in full frame equivalent. Wide lenses are my go-to for establishing shots. So I think of them as like a story opener. This is commonly used in films to establish the location of a scene. I use wide establishing shots to give the viewer an idea of where the event is taking place, along with its atmosphere and scale. During weddings, I like using wide lenses during the confetti throw and the reception so I can get in the action. This gives the viewer a feeling that they were in the crowd, which brings out more emotions from the photo. When it comes to establishing shots during a corporate event, I make sure to include a wide shot with the speakers and the attendees. Capturing a crowd shows the event's high attendee turnout and the energy. These photos will help clients show their event success to attract future sponsors and attendees. So when possible, I include branding in wide shots, like on a stage or in a networking area. Photos with branding will be more valuable to clients to be used for their marketing and communications. Shots with branding also help sponsors increase their reach when the attendees share the photos. Okay guys, number 2 on my list, I hope you're still with me, are my portrait lenses. So I have a soft spot for portrait lenses, maybe because they produce a soft background. Portrait lenses usually have a longer focal length, which means they compress and blur out the background, or as we love to call it, the bokeh. I love the 85mm in full frame or 56mm in APS-C for this job. This focal length is a favorite of many portrait photographers. For me, the reason I love it is, again, it gives you that good compression, but you don't have to be like a mile away from your subject. So these lenses are perfect for capturing speakers, candid moments of attendees, and headshots because they beautifully isolate the subject from the background. So you guys are always ready in your corporate event if someone comes up to you and asks for a headshot for LinkedIn. So I like to think of portrait lenses as my tool to build the viewer's connection with the people I take photographs of during the event. So it's a part of the whole storytelling process. When it comes to an 85mm portrait lens, I would recommend choosing the lens with the lowest aperture you can afford from an established brand. This could either be your own camera brand like Fujifilm or Sony, or third-party companies like Sigma, Tamron, or Viltrox. Personally, I love the dreamy look of the Fujifilm f1.2 56mm R lens, which is an 85mm full-frame equivalent. Again, this is my go-to lens when I shoot speakers on stage or attendees candid shots during an event. And for my Sony, I love the 85mm 1.8, which I think is the best bang for your buck. I will leave links down below, by the way, if you want to check these lenses out. These are some of my portrait lens recommendations if budget was not an issue for you. One is the Fujifilm XF56 1.2R WR and the Sony 85mm 1.4 G Master. These lenses will give you the best optical quality that money can buy. And guys, remember, at the end of the day, the clients will not know which lens you use. They will not know if, oh my gosh, this was shot on a G Master, or oh my gosh, this was shot on the latest 56 1.2 Fuji. What really matters to them is that you deliver their photos in focus, proper exposure, and you capture the moments or the key moments they asked you to capture in the first place. If you found value in this video, consider dropping me a follow and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my weekly videos. Okay, number Number 3 in my list is my all-around lens, the 24-70 in full frame or 16-55mm in APS-C zoom lens. Okay, events are high-pressure shooting environments packed with things, guys, you cannot control as a photographer. For me, always being ready to get that shot is everything, and the 24-70 allows me to capture moments without having to change lenses. If I can only bring one lens to cover a whole event, this would be it. You can shoot wide at 24mm and zoom in up to 70 for portraits or additional reach for speakers on stage. I would recommend this lens as your first if you want to start in event photography. When it comes to my 24-70s, I have invested in f2.8 fixed aperture lenses. I use the Sigma Art 24-70 2.8 for the Sony and the XF 16-55 2.8 for my Fujifilm, which is Fuji's top-of-the-line 16-55 or 24-70 zoom lens. These lenses allow me to zoom in without changing the photo's exposure, which is crucial to capture quick moments in low-light situations. When starting out, you can opt for the variable aperture lenses, which are a lot more affordable than fixed apertures. This means as you zoom in, the f-stop changes, which is completely fine. Just remember to compensate with either shutter speed or ISO to get a proper exposure. Again, if budget were not an issue, I would recommend the Sony 24-70 G Master Mark II for the Sony system if you're looking for an all-around event lens. Finally, number 4, which is the icing on the cake, my telephoto lens. I always bring my telephoto lens for bigger venues. A telephoto gives me additional reach to capture moments or details without being too intrusive. For example, getting tight shots of speakers on a big stage or details like merch or attendee badges. This type of lens gives the client a wider selection of photos for their content. Personally, I use the 55-200mm by Fuji, which is like a 70-300mm equivalent in full frame. Coupled with my Fuji's crop sensor, this setup gives me enough reach for most of my events. Some of my telephoto lens recommendations in this class would be the Sony G Master 70-200 2.8, and also you can look at the Tamron 35-150, so that will give you like a wider coverage, so from 35 to 150, 2 to 2.8, and the Fujifilm 50-140 2.8R. So all these options, again, are good options for event coverage. One quick thing or tip, I always bring backup lenses, so I'm ready if any of my lenses decide to give up on me on that day. Again, as event photographers, we always have to have backup so we can finish the shoot for our clients. Some photographers might think that I bring too much gear during a shoot, but personally, I would rather be ready than sorry. Have a good day, guys.